A warm welcome to the social sciences class, all my dear young minds. Here today we are going to come across Indo-Pak relations. Actually, I wanted to slip some content in the day before video or the last video. Previous video only I discussed up to Simla agreement only, and I did not come across Kargil war. I did not come across the allegations made by India and Pakistan against each other, and how they are spending their inordinately the scarce funds upon the armament, and also actually what are the real feelings of people of that soil and this soil. Of course, one side once upon a time, and people lying in Pakistan and people lying in India, are they carrying the same animosities? Is there any different feeling they have in their minds regarding each other when compared to the politicians and military rulers? Got it? And before I go into that area of Kargil war, or which is also called as Operation Vijay, and before I come across the allegations both parties are making against each other, and the relations between the people of these two countries, let me come to a point which I also slipped when I am explaining the 1965 war. Already in the previous video I mentioned that in 1965, Mr. Ayub Khan opened a front in Kashmir. Opened a front in Kashmir means from part of occupied Kashmir, they made their army to come into India, or the Kashmir which is under the portion of India. That POK is POK, got it? From there they marched their troops into India. Ayub Khan was very much anticipating that there will be a huge support to the Pakistani army from Kashmiris. Why? Because majority of the Kashmiris are Muslims, but non-Muslims are less. For example, 60% are Muslims, I think 40% are non-Muslims. That is Sikhs and Hindus or Christians and so on and so on. Got it? So there will be a huge support from the Muslim community. Easily we can occupy Kashmir was the feeling of Mr. Ayub Khan when he sent his army into Indian domain or Indian Kashmir. But much to the surprise of Ayub Khan, these Kashmiris did not support, or maybe majority of them may be Muslims. Not only Muslims, even non-Muslims, all have behaved like Indians, and they got seen the Pakistani army as Pakistani only. But they are not belonging to us, and they did not support the Pakistani army, even the Muslim community of Kashmir, and they supported Indian army. That was their commitment and integration with Mother India. What's happening with Jammu and Kashmir we are not seeing. So on the day, the secret of our success is, the secret of success of Lal Bahadur Shastri is Jammu Kashmiris, even though whoever it may be, Muslims or non-Muslims, all stood together with this soil. That's the greatness of them. And that's why Ayub Khan was forced to take back his army from Indian domain. Of course, our Indian army also marched up to Lahore from Punjab, from the state of Punjab. It entered into the Punjab of Kashmir, the Punjab of Pakistan, and touched with Lahore, somewhere here. What is it? So that's what I slipped one tell you, because whether you are reading the text properly or not, I want to observe. Only one Dhyan Teja was responding that, sir, you did not explain Kargil war. But my friends, I even did not explain a few other factors also, which I am going to explain right now, right in this video. Yeah, apart from this, we will go into Kargil war. See, in 1972, Simla Pact was signed. What is the content in the Simla Pact? Simla Pact is nothing but like Panchashila of us. What is that? Both decided that anything, any aspect between the both countries, whether related to the water, river waters, or diplomatic aspects, or XYZ, and Jammu Kashmir issue also, should be solved only by bilateral talks, mutual talks. Bilateral means both parties getting involved. Unilateral, China attacked unilaterally and also it got suspended itself from the war unilaterally. Means one making one's own decision. Some act happening because of one's own decision is called unilateral. What it done? Bilateral. Bilateral means two parties will be involved. So what is the decision of the Simla Pact is? Hereafter, they both will not resort for war on any issue. Able to understand or not? They should not resort for, they should not go for any war regarding any issue. Any issue should be solved peacefully, amicably. Whatever the issue may be, solved peacefully, amicably. Shimla Agreement, Shimla Pact. Okay, right. Shimla Pact 1972. Who signed it? Holiday signed. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, Mrs. Indira Gandhi from India, premiers of the nations of the day. Right? Okay. That is, they should not go resort for any war regarding any issue. Issue should be solved peacefully and amicably. And that issue should be solved by bilateral talks only. Bilateral means only these two parties have been on. Third party should not be given a chance to enter into. Why? Because already United States of America is having its own interest to interfere in this matter. And it constantly took the side of Pakistan. Why? Because USSR is there at the back of India. Because in 1971 war itself, when India before going to war itself, it got an understanding with USSR. USSR gave big support to India. With the help of that support only, we were able to defeat Pakistan very successfully in 1971 December war. And we were able to give freedom to Bangladesh. After seeing this healthy and harmonic relations between India and USSR, USA started indirectly supporting, abetting Pakistan against India. So now the both parties decided bone of contention between you and me is Jammu and Kashmir, and that Jammu and Kashmir problem will be solved only by bilateral talks, not by multilateral talks or any third party's involvement or any intrusion. Intrusion means illegally entering. America, why America want? What is the advantage America want to have? If it is having a chance of making decision on Kashmir, slowly in the name of it want to make Kashmir as an independent country, both Pakistan and Kashmir, if it is given a chance, it will try to make this Kashmir into an independent country like what it was before 1948. And then after, it want to establish its military equipment here. It want to make this Kashmir as a military base for it. Military base, what for it is, what for America want to make a military base by making independent Kashmir? By making independent Kashmir, we want to make a military base to put a check upon USSR, which is a big country, which is following the middle and also another country lying beside India, China, one of the major countries, large country of Russia in Asia. And also third big power, India. So if it can get control upon Jammu and Kashmir, it can put a watch upon USSR and check to USSR, check to China, and check to India. And these are all major powers in Asia, which are going to be superpowers in coming future. If we are neglect, those all will be under our control and they act according to our tunes only. Was the willful thought of United States of America in getting ready for making a judgment in case of Jammu and Kashmir between India and Pakistan. And this was identified by two leaders of the day, and they very clearly stated that if at all the issue of Kashmir should be solved between India and Pakistan, it is with only negotiations, bilateral talks, negotiations with discussions. We will go for peaceful discussions, and that too only two parties will involve, India and Pakistan. Then whatever the time it may be, we will not let the third party to enter into this matter. This is the content of Simla Pact. I think you are able to understand this. Now I go to the Kargil war. That occurred in Kargil war that occurred in June to July 1999, or it is also called as Operation Vijay. Operation Vijay. It is also called as Operation Operation Vijay. What is called as Operation Vijay? Kargil War. Actually, this is not a direct war fought between India and Pakistan. Kargil War wasn't a direct war that occurred between India and Pakistan. Why? After 1972, there is no direct war between India and Pakistan. And most of the time indirect wars are there because exchange of fire between the both military troops in the boundaries. It may be Poonch sector, Dras sector in Kashmir, but in Rajasthan, Punjab, where we have border, we share border with the Pakistan, right? So there we had trouble of shooting. Certain times they will be showing their aggression to divert our army and to infiltrate their terrorists into our country. But at times also we people also will resort. That is when they open fire, we have to retaliate it. We have to counter it, right? So what is the reason they are opening fire in this region? You think in Rajasthan, Poonch. Okay, and that means they are trying to send it to some. Our army will be getting in and dumping its all forces here. Now, what we are seeing with China, and that fellow will be sending his which are unfenced, where there are no fence through that they want to send terrorists into India. Guns, weapons, got it, and money, got it. Their fellows print, ISI prints same currency what we have. Got it? Whatever the currency is printed by Indian government, same currency it will send. And one of the reasons quoted by Mr. Modi when he implemented demonetization is such a fake currency is coming into country, or counterfeit currency. What we call it as counterfeit currency now. COUNTERFEIT, counterfeit currency or fake currency. Fake currency means actually it will be exactly Indian currency only, but it is not made by RBI, Reserve Bank of India or Indian government. Some forces now abroad. And through Bangladesh also will they send from Bihar, Bengal. Most of the fellows will be coming from Bihar and Bengal, who will be exchanging this currency here in remaining part of India. And that will become a menace now. In this way, currency is going on increasing, currency is going to be with every layman. What happens? It will be the scenario of Germany during Great Economic Depression. Got it? Currency will lose its value, and automatically every price of every commodity will be increasing high. Everyone has to spend huge money, and our currency, when it's not having any value, no one will be ready to export anything to us, and we have to face huge problems. Got it? Shortage of goods and so on. So that's why we have to put a check to that. Of course, Modi tried, he was quoting that he was doing the demonetization for that purpose. We have to believe, right? Because maybe other motive may be there, but the fact was that ISI was dumping counterfeit currency in a big way into India. Many times police or Indian cops got caught, many fellows, right? So in this way, they indirectly try to disturb our economy, our peace and our progress. Because if India is peaceful, either China, Pakistan don't create any menace to us. All that money we can spend upon education and health now. And what better health facilities and education facilities might have been with India. No need of spending that much money upon military and defense and so on. See, India is the third largest country spending upon the defense. Something around 7.1 billion crores. $1 billion, I think, if I am not wrong. Got it? Entire world expenditure is 17.3 something like that $1 billion, and India, every year spends $7.1 billion. Last year, some 6% we spent upon defense. That is getting the Rafale and also on. Why this expenditure for us? Actually, unwanted expenditure. Those people are in peace, and let us to be in peace. We need not spend that money. Of course, in the name of this, some politicians or some XYZ, in the name of Bombers or in the name of Rafale, XYZ may get benefited. But it's inevitable that we should have that some latest equipment with us to counter the enemy. One from the left and other from the right. So this water, the governments of India are forced to go ahead with that. So this water, yeah. So in this way, they are not only disturbing our peace, but also they are disturbing our economy, and also they are causing a big trouble to India. So in that process, they dared enough to enter into India. Of course, they are not even terrorists. We can say, no. Pakistani army only, they got dressed themselves like terrorists. Almost all 3,000 to 4,000, they got intruded. Intruded means if you enter into any place without the prior permission of that particular owner of the place, it is called intrusion. Got it? So those intruders made their entry 3,000 to 4,000 into India. What in on 13th of May, the then Prime Minister Vajpayee and Sir Abdul Kalam, he looks like a yogi. But this gentleman made this nation very powerful because being instrumental in making of hydrogen bomb, which created threat in the even developed nations. India reached the status of developed nations in case of military strength because of the hydrogen bomb, nuclear bomb. Atom bomb, somewhere 1974. 25 years exactly back, and when leadership of Indira Gandhi was there, we were successful in making atom bomb. And one hydrogen bomb or nuclear bomb were successful by making it by 1999. Got it? By 1999, we were successful in making it. And even he was there very crucial in making missile Agni. Got it? Agni missile surface to surface. Got it? Almost all up to Agni 380 his supervision was there. The great personality. That's what I say. He made India strong. He may look very simple. He may look very simple, auspicious, austere character he is having. Soon we are going to celebrate the birth of this great legendary personality on 15th October. Yeah, 1999, in May, I think 13th if I am not wrong, May 13th, we tested nuclear at Pokhran, same place where we tested our first nuclear explosion, that is atom bomb. The same in Rajasthan, desert, under the ground it will be carried, the test will be carried. We were very successful. And when we were successful, the eye of China and Pakistan turned green, jealous. But China wanted supremacy by military strength. And even India attaining that military strength, it could not digest. And when it could not digest, it will encourage Pakistan. If Pakistan can't digest us, it will encourage China. They are mutual friends. What a blessing to India, Mother India. One on the left and one on the right. And where we can go ahead? How can we progress? One is pulling back from right. One is pulling back from left. So I will come to Kargil War. 1999, the military of Pakistan dressed themselves into establish and made their entry into Indian military. Got it? And Kashmir, very particular. Draft sector, Kargil, Tiger Hills. These are the places where they came, and our Indian army got countered these fellows very strongly. Got it? From June to July. That's why every July 21st, I think, if I am not wrong, Vijay Diwas is celebrated in India as a commemoration of that martyrs with the people who give their life for the sake of motherland. Got it? You see, no single fellow who intruded into India was left by Indian army. All the 3,000 to 4,000 were killed here encountered by Indian military troops and paramilitary troops. Of course, we too lost some 400 to 450 valid lives of our sons of the soil, where even one of the officer from Bangalore, Sandeep Krishna, Sunil Krishna lost his life in that battle, and Lance Naik from Nalgonda district, Major Padma Pani Acharya of Hyderabad. Our Telugu sons are also there in that sacrifice, a part of that. Got it? So, feel proud. Even Padma Pani Acharya's mother came to Khammam in 2000. So I recollect it, right? I do have a photograph. I think we do have a photograph of that, right? Okay. So this is what Kargil war was. Within 1 month, we smashed out there. And this war is called as Operation Vijay. This may be asked for 1 mark, half mark. Year may be asked for 1999, 1999, right? 1999. And they may ask 1 month question, 2 months question also. But when it is asked for 2 months, we have to narrate the story behind this Kargil war. Okay, right? I mentioned you. Now we go. What are the allegations between India and Pakistan? See, Nana, there are separatist movements going on in India with the abetment made by the ISA undoubtedly. Why? Because in 1980s, many of you may not know, starting of 1980s to ending of 1990, decade of 80s was the menace for Indian government, where very first time a serious threat was to the integrity of India or unity of India. What was that serious threat that Indian integrity or unity faced? That is integration of India or unity of India got faced. That is separatist movement carried by Sikhs in India, demanding a separate country for secession of Punjab from India. Secession means cutting away and forming into a separate country called Khalistan. It was the demand of certain, not all the Sikh community, certain extremists of Sikh community, taking advantage among the Sikhs, some leaders of Sikh community, taking advantage of the discontent existing among Sikhs regarding violation of promises made to them from 1960s. They took advantage of creating a movement or a big agitation and a massacre in the name of Khalistan, formation of a separate country like Pakistan for Sikhs. They demanded, as their demands were not honored by the Indian government or union government, they were started questioning why we should be a part of India and we will cut away from India and we will exist into a separate country. This is what a evil plan of ISI, which is supported by Pakistani army government, military governments. But these military governments of Pakistan always encouraged an agency called ISI, Inter-State Intelligence. Like our RAC, Research and Analysis Wing, every country will have its spying agencies. ISI is a spying agency of Pakistan, and it also encourages terrorist groups, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed. Like this, certain terrorist groups are there which will be functioning on the communal fanaticism or religious fanaticism. There may be certain groups in other communities also, but these active, they change their name, but their boss is ISI, frequently Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Harkatul-Jihadi, like this, they will constantly changing their names, but activity is same, to create unrest in India, one into a here and there. But by taking up terrorist attacks and creating a pain and panic among Indians and fear among Indians so that they have to step out from their home. Of course, Indians many times prove that your attacks can't stop us going ahead. But at this soil, Indians I am speaking. I am not speaking about any community. Indians, when I speak Indians, all communities are there. There may be religious fanatics among all communities in India, but India is not that. India is not that. India is composition. It is a beautiful garland made of multicolored flowers. A garland made with a single flowered jasmine or just roses will be looking good, or a garland made with multicolored flowers will be looking good. That multi-flowered garland is my mother India. There may be communal fanatics from every section, or there may be caste fanatics from every section. That don't mean that caste is that community, that religion, that region, that language people are this, that. So we have to understand, being an Indian, we should have a broad thinking, and we can't blame any single individual, single community or single person, caste or language, region, or linguistic people, or slangs, a cause for something happening. This is all done by history-paras forces who don't want to make India united. And this is what the problem right from time of beginning. Why we were forced to face foreign rulers? We have to know the story of Prithviraj Chauhan, how he was defeated. He was defeated by a Rajput king, Raja Jayachandra of Kanaus. So, this is what disunity made India weak. United we win, divided we fall. This is only simple principle one have to listen. All Indians should be together. How they were when they were fighting against British, when INA soldiers, even though they are Muslims, INA officers, Indian National Army, started by Subhash Chandra Bose, were Muslims. When they were verdict or judgment is given by the British courts, when they were court-martialed, and judgment was given of execution of them, entire Indians came together, irrespective of communal aspects, and stood together, and where the so-called never sunset British Empire was forced, the British government was forced to convert that execution into life sentence or death sentence into life sentence, so that they will be in prison for lifetime. That means 14 years or some 20 years of time, something according to that law. So this is what we have to learn on. Here, Khalistan was the demand made by certain Muslims who are aggressive, who are encouraged by ISI. Got it? And like that, they started demanding of separation of Kashmir also. KLF, Kashmir Liberation, Khalistan Liberation Front, 6. JKLF, Jammu Kashmir Liberation Front, that is encouraged by ISI. Certain Muslims of Kashmir started showing their inclination towards separate country of Jammu and Kashmir. And they want to merge this separate country into Pakistan, domain of Pakistan, along with that POK. Certain people only, not all. We should not blame everyone. That's it. Even certain Sikhs. Right? These all are getting encouraged. India's allegation against Pakistanis, of course, at a certain extent it may be factors. Pakistanis, this is what done. This is done by only Pakistani ISI organization, and with the help with the full support of Pakistani government or military officers who are in the chair. India alligated. These all separatist movements rising in India are because of them. Got it? Even LTT, which is in Sri Lanka, got it? At a point of time, it is believed that even they were also encouraged, and even they are encouraging Tamilians to demand for a separate Tamil country. There were rumors, not a fact. I don't know whether it's fact or not, but there were rumors at one point of time, right? So, in this way, indirectly they started encouraging separatist movement. Separatist movement was the allegation made by Indian government against Pakistani government or Pakistani authorities. And even Pakistani authorities also starting blaming India. India is trying to destabilize their government. What is the allegation made by Pakistan government? India is trying to destabilize their government and their administration. How? India is also encouraging separatist movement in Pakistan. What is that separatist movement in Pakistan? That is MQM, is the organization which carried that separatist movement, or they are demanding their rights. Of course, actually they did not ask for separation, but they asked for their rights. What is this MQM? MQM, Muhajir Qazi movement. Muhajir Qazi movement. Muhajir, who came from some other part of Pakistan and settled in Pakistan according to Pakistanis. Some other part means when India got divided, Muslims who don't want to stay in India but not being a part of Pakistan also moved to Pakistan, leaving their all properties here. One of the Prime Minister who was removed from the chair before Imran Khan became Prime Minister, Nawaz Sharif, Pakistan Muslim League, PML. That man was also from India. He is also one of Jamaican landlord, his grandfathers. They left their all properties and went into UP and went to Pakistan. And people like L.K. Advani, Kapil Dev, they all who won, Kapil Dev who won first World Cup, under whose captaincy we won first World Cup in the cricket. That man, they all came from Pakistan only to India. Got it? Right. LK Advani, BJP leader. Mohajir means actually they are not Pakistanis, but who came from other parts of India and settled down in Pakistan when India got divided. So they, under the leadership of Altaf Hussain, they started their fight in Pakistan for their rights. Actually, these people are seen as, even though they are Muslims, they were seen as secondary citizens over there, like other minority communities. Other minority communities, there are Sikhs and Hindus are also there in Punjab, Sindh provinces of that Pakistan, which are close to India. There even Hindus and Sikhs are also there, who did not come to India during partition. But they were remaining there because their properties and so on, they stayed over there. They liked to be there in Pakistan, like how many Muslims like to be in India. Got it? They were also staying. And those minorities were not given equal status with the Muslims. And even these Muslims who migrated from independent India to Pakistan, independent Pakistan, they were also not given the rights, and they were also treated as second-rated citizens in that particular Pakistan. That's why they started a movement. And when they started a movement, the Pakistani government started blaming Indian government. It is there at the back of them. It is there at the back of them. Altaf Hussain was the leader of this movement. Mohajir Qawmi movement. Mohajir Qawmi movement. Mohajir. Of course, no need on this one, but for your simple understanding, I am making it. What allegation they made against India is also trying to destabilize their government by encouraging these movements. What's the allegation? They made a counter allegation because we are making allegation that Pakistan is there, ISI is there at the back of this Khalistan movement and separate Khalistan movement and Kashmir independence movement. Like that, they are also blaming India in case of Mohajir Qawmi movement. Right, one thing. Apart from that, Pakistan stays allegation. Another allegation from Pakistan is India is trying to threaten it. It always threaten Pakistan in military terms, saying that there will be a military attack upon you. And also India is building up more nuclear weapons with it, so that to create constant threat upon me. So you stop India going for that armament, collecting deadly weapons, or researching and developing deadly weapons or lethal weapons. You have to stop. By getting that weapons, it is showing that hey, you are nothing between in front of me. You talk, I will be piercing your body, like our teacher wants a student, or a parent wants a child. Like that, it is showing this indirectly threatening by collecting arms and weapons. And how can I stop? Was the saying of Pakistan, and it also started collecting deadly weapons from USA, USSR, wherever, China, wherever it is possible. Got it? So, in that way, both countries started spending scarce funds inordinately, means without any order, without any rational thinking. They started spending scarce funds. Already available resources, monetary resources are very less for both the countries. We both started our journey with poverty, illiteracy, what we can call unemployment, and diseases, suffering from disease. Both started this journey same. And really, I felt I was very happy once in 2015, I think if I am not wrong, 2015 or 2016, when Modi made a call at Kerala, in the state of Kerala, addressing a public rally. Come, let us fight here. Let us fight, his statement was. I got shocked. Why he is asking for a fight with Pakistan? But he was asking that let us compete, let us fight on the poverty, let us fight on the unemployment, let us fight on the hunger, which people of both countries were having. Also, I felt like very great Modi. And by 2016, 2017, I think 2015 he stated that, 2016 he stated. By 2016 September itself, the scenario started changing. Words are something and deeds are something else. So that's he said that that's a reality, ground reality. Both countries have to show their focus upon these areas and bail out the people from that bad and hideous suffering conditions. Everyone has to take care of their people. Got it? But politicians, they take advantage either, not only I'm claiming Mr. Modi or someone. Politicians of that soil or politicians of this soil always wanted to have an advantage in the pretext of an attack from that country or this country to that country. At this juncture, what is the state of mind of the people? State of mind of people is nothing but Bajrangi Bhaijaan. Bajrangi Bhaijaan, you all know, I think, what popular that movie was. What it is. So, what I speak, there are positive thoughts among the people. Even people in that country, recently you might have saw, before this Hathras incident in India, how Hathras incident in India rocked the governments. There also in Pakistan also, when a heinous crime went against a woman, what women are asking, you might not have seen. What people are asking the government in Pakistan might not have seen. They were asking very clearly. They were asking very clearly about hunger, safety, security, poverty, unemployment, to address them, not to fight with someone else. They were not in a condition, their economy is not in a condition to fight with anyone. That's why China is coming to the rescue of them. That's an indirect right. Their motive and aim is to trouble India. One or other way. Of course, certain other aspects will be there from India side also. That's a different story. We don't know anything. Right. Now people are not having that animosity is what governments and leaders are having. Our military officers of Pakistan are having. Of course, compared to the military officers of Pakistan, our military officers are very constant and clear. We can say that. Unwanted and towards enmity is not there with our military officers, but our leaders will be wrong. Political leaders are not that. Political leaders that Shahnawaz Qasim was very, of course, Nawaz Sharif was somewhat having a broad thinking itself, but he was imprisoned on some other allegations by Supreme Court of that country. That's a different story. He was unseated and trial was conducted and he was imprisoned. Most of the time, military in Pakistan decides the state of affairs, but in India, not like that. Political leaders, our chain, who are important chains, they will decide, not military. This is the greatness of Indian democracy. Sweetness and greatness of Indian democracy. We were never under control of army. Indian army will be. Actually, if it want, it can be, but it never did and it will not. We can assure, because we have institutions strengthened in a different manner. Of course, if institutions get weakened, tomorrow when a genuine officer comes in military, we can't speak. I don't know, I can't forecast something happening in India, but just right now, till the date, Indian Army was subtle, we can say subtle, but to the government. They never tried to for a coup, but there, most of the time the people of Pakistan were under control of military regime only. Military regime takes off the freedom of the people, they will not permit any individual to speak anything. But so, those political heads, whatever it may be, people are having a soft corner. Best example is, there is no difference between the superstars, filmy superstars in India and Pakistan who are there here, they are also there. There are also Virat Kohli fans recently only. One of the member of Pakistani cricket board, Rawalpindi Express, Shoaib Akhtar, gave an appreciation and faced a lot of criticism in Pakistan. To whom? Virat Kohli. But they were drawing a parallels to Virat Kohli there, but he was very clear what's wrong. And even the gentleman who is renowned for very, what we can call aggressive batting, captained Pakistani team, Injo Malhotra, bowler also, not Misbah. To recollect. He was also doing some. The sportsmen, they have Saurav Ganguly and that fellow Shoaib Akhtar are good friends. Harbhajan Singh and someone is a good friend. And even Navjot Singh Sidhu is a good friend of Imran Khan, the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Sports will make together the people. Filmy aspect, sports, trade. We get many things from Pakistan. But it was Jude. Jude is one of the prominent industry from India, once upon in India, and now in Pakistan. Many products we get from Pakistan, and we give many things to Pakistan also. Food grains, sugarcane, food grains like wheat and so on. So trade, film, commerce, we all having sharings, common sharings. There is no that animosity what it is posted in movies or some way or by the politicians among the people. Among the people, policy makers, leaders, they may have these all things either from that side or this side. But to great extent, a baby in this NDA government, this NDA government won. So when Sushma Ji was Foreign Affairs Minister, a baby with a heart ailment, I think from Pakistan, mother appealed to Sushma Swaraj Ji, Foreign Minister. NDA one government later, the great one of the great ladies I came across in politics with values. That great lady responded immediately and tweeted that lady made ma'am sir, we want some help. Immediately Sushma Ji responded and gave that all medical support to that baby. They got rescued. The baby. This is what the friendly relations will be there between those kind of people, where there are the people who are trying to play some power game between the people, right? That is in the form of quality and so on, right? So this is what, friends, in this video, next video will be regarding a national movement that occurred from 1935 to 1947. But what incidents occurred in that 12 years of time, and independence of India, freedom of India, partition of India, how India got divided between communal groups. This all will be there in the next video. Thank you all.